Lecture 7, Using Grok for Writing, Summarizing and Brainstorming. So far, we have learned Grok's personality, real-time features, and how to have smarter conversations with it. Now, we are shifting towards one of the most practical ways to use Grok, helping you write better, think clearer, and start faster. In today's lecture, we'll look at how Grok can support your writing, whether you're drafting an email, outlining a paper, summarizing a reading, or brainstorming ideas for a project. You will learn how to give Grok helpful instructions for different writing related tasks and how to improve the quality of its responses through simple techniques. By the end, you will be able to use Grok as a writing partner that helps you move from stuck to started. Objectives of the lecture. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to use Grok to generate writing drafts and outlines, ask Grok to summarize articles, essays, or readings clearly, use prompts to brainstorm new ideas or content directions, evaluate and refine Grok's outputs to suit your own voice and needs. Let's begin with a question. How often do you stare at a blank screen, unsure how to begin? That's where Grok becomes your writing buddy. It doesn't just spit out essays. It helps you get started, shape ideas, and organize your thoughts. Writing with Grok, from drafts to emails. Whether you need to write a formal email, a blog post, or an assignment intro, Grok can help you move faster. You don't need to ask for a full piece. Start with this by just giving it a prompt as give me a draft introduction for a paper on climate change for a college level audience. And when you just hit enter, so here you can see you have got this paragraph of introduction which has been for a specific audience as college level students. So it has just used words that are familiar to this audience specifically. And if you want to write a formal email, you can just close this window and start a new chat and give it a prompt as write a short, polite email asking my professor for a deadline extension. And when you just press enter, it will give you a short, polite, and an email format to a specific person, a professor, and with the subject of deadline extension. So here you can see you can just edit the dates and the professor name and just the proposed date as well. So you have all this data available and you can just send it to your professor. And if you want to write a blog post, you can just start a new chat in here and give it a prompt as outline a blog post about time management for students and press enter. So you have all these headings, points, and the planner as well. So it has given you 5 sections with the headings and points as well, and the conclusion and call to action as well. So you can just post this blog post at any platform that you are working on. Once Grok gives you something, you can refine it, rewrite in your own words, or ask follow-ups like make it sound more casual, add a quote to the introduction, summarize this into 3 sentences. This approach helps you fight writer's block and develop your own structure more confidently. Summarizing with Grok, clear, quick, and useful. Grok can also help you condense long content, readings, articles, notes, or even your own drafts. Try prompts like, you can just give it a prompt as summarize this paragraph in plain English. And you can just paste the paragraph in here about digital privacy So you can just give it a prompt as summarize this paragraph in plain English and click on this. Here you can see it is converting this paragraph into simple plain English. So you can have an idea about this paragraph, or you can give it a prompt as give me 5 key takeaways from this article on digital privacy, and you can just paste that paragraph on an article, and you can just click on this icon or press enter. Here you can see it has converted this article into 5 key takeaways as with the headings and a little explanation to that within a single paragraph. And you can just give it a prompt as in here, explain this in bullet points for a class presentation. And when you just hit enter, it will convert those points into bullet points for a class presentation. So you can just convert this into a presentation, and you just don't have to read all these paragraphs and convert this into bullet points by yourself. So it has just saved your time a lot by just giving it a single prompt like in here. You can even paste in your own text or a rough draft and ask, can you summarize this into a strong conclusion? And you can just give it a article or a paragraph that we are already working on. So you can just click in here, so it has just given you the conclusion paragraph that you can write in your writings or in presentation as well, or you can just tell the audience that what you have concluded about this article. Or you can give it a prompt as in here, pull out the main argument in one sentence and press enter. Here you can see you had this long article in here, and Grok has converted that article in one single sentence. This is great when you are overwhelmed with material or reviewing for exams and want things broken down quickly. Brainstorming with Grok, fuel for creativity. Grok is great for throwing out ideas, some serious, some silly, but all helpful for getting your mind moving. Try prompts like, give me 10 essay title ideas for a paper on AI in education. And when you just press enter, here you can see you have 10 different titles on AI in education. And if you're working on a podcast, then you can just ask it for as, what are some creative angles for a podcast about study habits? And when you just press enter, here you can see we have 10 different ideas for a podcast about study habits. So you can work on any of these if you're working on a podcast. And if you're working on a group presentation and you're liking topics, then you can just ask it for, help me brainstorm a list of topics for a group presentation. And you can just press enter. Here you can see if you're working on technology, then you have all these topics. If you're working on social issues, then you have all these topics. And if you're working on science and health, you have different topics as well. So it just gave you all the fields titles as technology, social science, so science and health, history and culture, business and economics, education and innovation, and all these topics. But if you're working on a specific field that you want to specify, for example, you can just edit the prompt as well, and you can just ask it for on technology. So when you just press enter, then it will just give you the ideas about technology. Here you can see you have artificial intelligence and ethics, the future of quantum computing, cybersecurity in the digital age. So you have all these topics for a presentation as you have just specified the field as technology. The key is not to expect perfection. You're not looking for final answers. You're looking for a starting point. Think of Grok as your creative sparring partner. It throws ideas and you decide what sticks. You can then follow up with expand idea number 4 into a full paragraph and press enter, and it has just explained it in a single paragraph as you just gave it a prompt in a full paragraph. So it just works as per you give it a prompt. And you can give it a prompt as give me a real world example for idea number 2 and press enter. You can just close this window. As you can see, we had the idea number 2 as the future of quantum computing. So it has just converted that into a real world example as lithium nickel oxide. And this has been used in creation of quantum computers, so it has been related to real world examples of quantum computing. And if you want to ask which of the idea is better for you to work on, then you can give it a prompt as which of these ideas would appeal most to the university students. And you can just press enter. As it has given us all these options as 15 different topics, but it has just suggested a topic as augmented reality versus virtual reality, as it is on the idea number 5 as highly engaging, especially for students interested in gaming, design, or media. Augmented reality or virtual reality use in education, for example, virtual labs and entertainment, makes it relatable. So it has just suggested us to work on this specific one among all these 15 different ideas that it has suggested us. The secret to using Grok well for writing. You don't let it do all the work. You let it help you start. And then you shape the final version. It's a conversation, not a shortcut.